Good morning, everyone. Those over there. Happy Friday. It's Friday. We've got a fun one today. A watering can. I know it may not look like much now, but you guys are going to love this one. All right, let me get my iPad going again. I'm Kathy with Big Barn Blooms, and we're going to do a fun tutorial today. There it is. Turn down my sound. All right. So when you come on, say hi and tell me where you're watching from. You guys, a rusty watering can. Is there anything yummier in the spring? I love the rust. I don't know, I guess, what do you guys think? Is rust on its way out? Less and less people are using rusty items, but they've got my heart. I can't help it. I love them. They're awesome. Jamie, hi Jamie. Jamie, first one on. And Rita, hi guys. So this is going to be fun. This watering can is actually, and not this design, something similar. We'll see what I come up with. We're going to do an in-person workshop on these. But I was going to do my big antique one, but what I want to do with this, I don't want to do on the big one. So that's my personal watering can. But this is going to be so much fun. I want to show you the novelty item we're putting in. You guys are going to go nuts over this, especially those of you that raise goats. Anybody raise goats? I don't. I've always wanted a goat. We don't live in the country. We used to, but if I could have a goat, I would. Look at this little guy. It's a little goat trying to be a bunny. Isn't that cute? This is going to go on a watering can. Let me bring them closer so you can really see the detail. These were, okay, I'll admit it, last year's from Michael's. So like I said, I shop after the season, but look at how cute he is. He's so adorable, and he has little flowers around his neck. So we're putting this little baby goat in this guy today. So let's get started. He's tiny, but the watering can isn't that big, so he'll be fine as far as his scale. Let's see who else. Kathy, hi. Kathy likes rusty. Good. I'm with you, Kathy. I like it, especially out in the garden or on your porch. And oh, there's all kinds of places. Can you imagine, like on your patio, if you have a little coffee table or side table, you put this on. Even on your porch on a little tiny bench or something. Just so cute. You guys are going to really like it. So this is what we're working on today. We're going to actually put a little nest in there too. And I'm thinking, do we need a nest with a goat? But I just like it because it looks like he's, again, standing in a bunch of natural flowers. So we'll probably put that in there too. But what I want to show you first, let me put these guys aside. Number one, I've got a ton of blues. This is the look we're going for. See all the different colors. And I'm going to use, if you guys, did you catch my live yesterday or watch it on replay? We use these wispy guys. These are leftovers from the live from yesterday. So a few of these are going to go in. So I say always save your scraps because you can always use them. And then we also saved off of the roses we used, I saved their leaves, so we may use a few of these leaves to help fill in at the end. But what I want to show you, remove my water. Thought I was all organized here. I'm going to shift these over and show you what we're going to use first. Have you guys ever seen this? This is called angel vine, and this is green dyed angel vine. I buy it wholesale. I don't know of any store. I need to do a Google search of it. It is amazing. And usually you see angel vine in brown in its natural state. This is dyed a bright, bright green. It's really cool. So we're going to kind of wind this around the watering can. It's going to look really cool. But anyway, I want to show it to you guys, and then if you can find it, or if any of you have a resale license, you need to try to get this. This is really cool. Leanne loves rusted and galvanized items. Awesome. Okay, so what I did, I need to glue this little piece on, but I work on top of the can. There's some designs where if it's just florals, I will put the foam in the bottom of the can and work out from there. But this whole design is going to be placed or worked on from on top of the can. So anywhere I could get some foam on, I got some foam on. And yeah, this is rusty metal, right? I gotta push that on more, I didn't. Oh, that's right, I put it on but I didn't push it. So I used my alien tape. Alien tape Try to wipe off as much rust as you can, but it's pretty tight on there. So that's what I use to secure it. And then I'm putting my handle pretty straight. And then we're gonna put another piece of this. I'm gonna work left to right or right to left. What do you guys usually like? I think handle on the left, spout on the right. So I'm gonna put another little piece up a little higher so I can make the little goat a little bit higher. So let me put a piece on there. Let's see, we'll use that size. Now, and I'm just gonna use glue to get that fixed on there. So, and then I'll have a little space in front of and behind this little piece for little stems. Okay, so we'll let that glue. While that's gluing, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with this angel vine. Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to work with. You guys haven't seen me demonstrate it yet though. So let me get a piece of this out, show you what you can do with this. This looks really good in wreaths too. I do like it on containers like this, or any container that you want to just do something really cool with the rim. And I may need to, I'm gonna hold it up and see, but let me show you how it comes. This is the big bundle of it, and it comes out in almost like it's a vine, so you can get little sheets of it coming out. It's just so cool. It's very messy, so be prepared for that. But what you're going to do is just break off a piece like this. I straighten it out, and then I break it down because I don't want this thick. I do want some thickness, but we're going to break it. And then what we're going to do is kind of mush it together. Very prickly. You may want to use garden gloves when you work with this stuff. But look at how we're going to just put some around the rim. It's going to look really cool. It's also going to hide the foam on the edges. So be careful for splinters. And then what we're going to use to push this in are those little picks. Have you guys seen these little moss picks? It's like a little horseshoe. You can get them at all the craft stores. You can get them on Amazon. But this is what they look like, right like that. And we're going to use those just to push this right into the foam. Because you can't really, honestly, glue this on. It's too wild and crazy. So we're just going to take some areas of this. Let me see, I'm looking at how this is. I'm going to start with a big area over here. This is really going to be messy, which is fine. And actually I'm going to start in the back. Start in the back, and we'll work our way around. So we're just going to push it in. Push it in with these little picks, little fern picks, little moss picks, whatever you want to call them. And we're just securing it into the foam. So now it's going to hang on there like that. This is going to be a really cute look. I'm going to come around the front here, and you can actually take it like this and spread it apart a little bit if you want. Some hanging down, make it look really natural, but it's just kind of a cool look. Angel vine, you guys, angel vine. So let me see if I can get this. And this I actually purchased from a fresh floral supplier that sells, it sells not only fresh flowers like in the cases, but it sells supplies, containers and picks and foam, and they've got novelty items too in Sacramento. So you would just have to check your local supplier. Go online, look for dyed angel vine, and see if you can get some. But for spring, it's great. In wreaths, this is beautiful if you're doing spring wreaths. You can put a little bit in. But I like how it kind of camouflages all this foam I have sticking up. Because you ever go to do a watering can, you'll understand, if you build on top of the can, your foam's going to stick up. That is a lot of moss to put on. And then it looks kind of Yankee, I think. I like either building inside or doing a little feature like this. A little bit of a different element that kind of camouflages it but looks really cool. Now there's some pieces where this comes away from the can, like there. Can you see how it comes away? But we're going to end up putting a little bit of that reindeer moss in there. I have a few more pieces. Let me grab a little bit more. This is my last bag of this. I think I have a partial bag, but I need to get some more of this coming in. Oh, and garlands. You guys, I may put some of this in my porch garland that I'm getting ready to do, because in garlands you can just take little pieces like this and then just weave them in like you were weaving in a piece of ribbon. Talk about a really good look. Really, really good look. So I'm going to do some, I think, over like this too, because isn't it cute to have it coming up over the top? It doesn't need to be just on the ring. So let's put this here, and we're going to get all of those little, all the little stems and everything are going to go in. We'll just work around it. But I just like how this adds a little bit of dimension and interest to the arrangement. You could do this in any container too, not just a watering can. It just looks really good. Or a wreath if you wanted little bunches coming out of the wreath like this. It would look really pretty. Okay, so I think that's enough for now. I think it looks pretty good. Right now you're going, Kathy, that looks like a mess. Yeah, it does. But it'll make sense, trust me. Okay, so let me try to get this. Look, it's going down my shirt. It's everywhere. Very messy product, but worth it for the look. So I'll rebag this later. I'm just going to set it down here, out of the way, and let me mop up the crumbs. Okay, what do you think of that product so far? I mean, it's kind of cool. It adds a really neat element to your arrangements in the spring. I mean, and in the fall, just get it natural. In the brown, talk about cool in fall arrangements. Very, very cool. Does create quite a bit of crumbs. So let me try to get all this up. Sticks to everything. Glad I'm using my mat. Because it's natural. It's like a weed, so it is a vine. Anyway. Oh my gosh, I made a mess. Probably should have just done that before the live and then cleaned up. Here you guys are on here for a tutorial. You're watching me clean. This is how you clean a craft table. Okay, just kidding. I'm being silly now. All right, there, that's good enough. Stop it. Get that branch off. Okay, here we go. Now I feel like I need to, yeah, I've been working in the yard. You can say that. I've been working in the yard all day. Okay, so there's the beginning of it. Isn't it cute? With that little bit on there? So, we don't need a lot on this. I have a big pile, as usual, because I never know what I'm going to need. But the first thing I want to start with is this little guy. And this little guy is going to go, he's going to live right around in here. This will be the front. Yes, it's kind of a one-sided. It's going to look great from the back too, so whatever side you see it from, you'll like it. But I just want to make sure he's on one side. He's a little elevated. I'm going to put a metal pick on him if I can get it around his tiny little wire. Did I get it? I got it. So I want him sitting right in here. You know what? We're going to go shorter because he needs to be very close to the foam. We don't want him to look like he's floating. Even though we're going to put a lot of stems around him, he's going to be pretty close to the foam. Yeah, that time I didn't get him. Come on. All right, let's start over on that pick. All right, technical difficulties. Let's try this again. And you know what I think I'm going to do? If you ever have something you want to put a pick on and the wire is too small for it to grab onto, just double wire it. Just cut another little piece and hold it up next to it. And then pick those two together in the machine, and then it'll hold. You'll get the thickness you need to get it around there and crimped. Right like that. So there's two wires on one, and it does the job. Okay, so let me put him in. That's glued really well. So this guy is going to live right here. And because his wire is so flimsy, use your needle nose, or if you have an item like this, use your needle nose to pull it, push it in because you don't want to break it. All right, so there he is, living on that can. So cute. Let's see who else has come on. Hi, Annie. Martha likes the vine. Hi, Martha. Sandy from Virginia. I think they're called green pens. Green pens. Oh, yes, the little, these little pins. We've called them moss pins for years because we've used them to secure moss in arrangements if you don't want to glue the bottom of it, but that's probably true. Let's see. Kathy does them on the right side, whether it be a sprinkling can or a coffee cup. On the right, and it's weird, I do them on the left, so go figure. I don't know why, but I always end up doing them on the left. So here's the beginning of this little guy. So again, we're going to start with some of our tallest elements first. And I do want to use some lavender in this. I think it'll look really nice and springy. So let's cut off a few pieces of this guy. In here. This is Hobby Lobby lavender, which I adore. I'm going to take off this price tag here. By the way, it's Friday. All of the stems and bushes are 40% off at Hobby Lobby right now. If you guys need anything, they'll go off on Sunday. So kind of nice to grab anything you need when it's on sale. So, but I love cutting this bush down. I don't know if a lot of people think about cutting this bush down because it looks fabulous as a bush, just put in any container. But when I do something like this, it's nice to add that little element. So we're going to go ahead and cut it down. So I'm going to pick these in individually. And they're just going to come around toward the center of the can. And I'm going to work from the back. Hopefully you guys can see this really well. Make sure I'm kind of centered here. Another one behind me. I just want to look like a little bush of this is growing out from the can. When you're done, you won't see all these blocks of foam, so it kind of gives the illusion this is growing out of the can, which is really nice. Maybe there's another taller piece right here. So we're going to make it look like a little grouping. This guy right there, and I want them pretty close together because lavender grows in a little bunch. So we'll put that aside for now. We'll see if we need more later. And let me take a look from the front. Very cute, very easy. Okay, so next let's add some greens. Let me get down to my greens. Using some of my favorite springs from Michael's this year. Starting with this, I love this. This just screams spring. I love the look of this bush. So, and this, remember, came in a large, if you didn't see my lives, I'll hold it up. Did I bring one in? I may not have. Thought I did. Oh yeah, here's one. So this comes in either a big stem like this or a bush. And I was talking about there's way more branches on this. It's more money. But I just need smaller pieces for projects like this. So this wouldn't be real economical to use a big stem. But if you're doing big wreaths, this is better. So I got both. And so depending on the project I'm working on. But this is really a nice one. Oops, I just pulled one off. Let's not do that. So I'm going to cut this down a little bit to use. I'm probably not going to use the whole bush. We don't need that much in here. But we need some. So let's cut it down. Lots and lots of branches to use. That stuff is just hanging off me. Those angel vines just love hanging on. Okay, need a few more than that. These don't need to be very tall either. I'm going to start. The lavender is probably the tallest item I'm going to put in. Then I'm going to come down from there. So that's why I like these bushes. You get the look, but you don't have all that stem that you're paying for that you're cutting off. So kind of nice. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, so we just want to bring out the shape of this. So let me pick some of these and we'll put it in. You know, it's funny with these little pins. You know how they, I don't know if you guys do gardening or you use drip system, we do. And we always do all our own landscaping and drip and everything in our yard. But they have the little garden ones, the little hoops that hold your drip down in a pinch. These will work. I'm like, we're out of those. Go grab some of those out of the craft room. They'll work. for now, you know, or like if you have a drip running into your pot, you can use a couple of those and hold your drip in. So FYI, multi-use. So kind of nice. Kind of off topic here, but you know, things pop into my head. I'm like, ooh, tell them about that. Okay, so let's find some pieces that we can put in here and kind of frame this guy a little bit. I want some kind of coming in front of that lavender a little bit. And of course on the other side too. Let's see if I have a taller one. This one taller? Not really. So we can lengthen it with our stemming machine. Oops, I just pulled that one out. Because I want this one to be a little bit taller than the other. Let me make sure I've got that on the right side. I'm going to reverse them actually, because I'm working backwards. So I want the tall on this side. I know it's reversed for you, but tall will be on the left of the arrangement, shorter on the right. So we're going to go right like that. Just a hair, but enough. There we go. I already put picks on them. Okay, so I want some to come out the sides. Like that. I know, it looks a little weird right now. It'll get better. Trust me. Let's come out on the side over here. You're seeing a trend, aren't you, with this kind of a design? So, and it's kind of nice to know, you know, I did the rain boots, I did a pedestal, I've done many arrangements with this same design, just adapted it to different containers. And that's kind of what I want to show you. Don't think because you see a method or an arrangement style, it's not meant just for one container. So what do you have around your house or your workshop that you could use? And I can put that in there. It works. It'll work in anything pretty much. So that's what I like to teach. Let's have some of these spilling out the front here. And you can put these stems right through the angel vine, which looks kind of cool because it looks like it's, you know, growing right out of it. Let's put some more here. And it is looking like a little bit of a fan, but that's okay. I'm going to put this one more at an angle coming out. So if you see it from the side, there's some big space here. And we'll do that back over here too. Perfect. So we've got it coming out in the back. We're going to add some more greens too, which will change that up a little bit. And in the front, let's put one. I'm going to come through the angel vine on the other side and get that picked in. So it's kind of cool to have it coming out of the vine itself. Okay, I think that's enough of that for now. Now we're going to go into this. This was another spring stem from Michael's that I loved, so we're going to add some of this. Let me cut this guy down. And again, looking for stems that have multiple stems, and then within those stems, multiple little stems you can make. So we're going to cut this all the way down. We don't need the length, we just need more greenery in here to help fill in. This is a great stem for that. I will probably only need one for this whole watering can. So if you can get away with using just a few stems to create a design like this, bonus. So that's what we're going to do with this guy. Little pieces. I may keep one long stem. Let's see. So on this one, this was one of the branches that jutted off the one stem. I'm going to cut these sides off, but leave one that's long that I can use in the middle. Everything else is pretty short. So let's start with him. And it has one little piece that juts off to the side. So let me turn this around, see where we can incorporate this. I kind of want this coming around in front, and I do want it a little shorter. Now that I put the stem on, or the pin on, I want it a little shorter. So this is going to live right over here. And then bend that just a little bit. So see how it's coming up the sides, but this is coming over. So bend your stems. Figure out where you want them to live in the arrangement and position them, not only by putting them into the foam, but bend them once they're in. If you know you want to bend, like I always say, bend it prior to putting it in so that you don't make the hole bigger that you put it in. So go ahead and add their picks. And then we'll put them in. Okay. Let's come back around. So I think I need one over here. I want to kind of, this is beautiful and bright green, but I want to kind of soften it with this softer green. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put one over here. We're kind of building around this little goat. So cute. And then I'm going to kind of gently bend this forward because we don't want everything in the fan straight out. So you can see how this comes forward just a little bit. Just makes it look more realistic. You want it to look like it's growing there. And then I'm going to have another piece come out right in front of him. Use my needle nose to push him in. And then we're going to bring this and do a little bend and then bend it up. So have you ever done an S-curve on your branch? So any stem, you can curve down and then at the end, curve it up. I especially like this bend when you're doing a bloom, a flower on the end, because it faces the bloom back up. So this is kind of what I did with this. It almost looks like an ivy growing. So it comes out of the can, comes down, and then comes back up. So it's kind of a nice look to do that to your stems. Okay, let's do a little piece over here. So we're just kind of filling in a little bit. And then I want one, let's put one coming right out of the front here. So straight on the front. And again, we'll bend it up just a little, down and then up. We don't want it to go too far up and cover our little goat. We've got to keep the goat visible. I don't want to cover him at all, so this will look cute. So a little piece coming out the front there. This one I already bent, so let's see where we can put him. Maybe right in here. So see how quickly one stem, how that's filling up? Isn't that crazy how it doesn't take very much and you get a really nice look? I'm going to lengthen this a little bit. Okay, let's see. Where do I need another one? I need one over here. And I'm going right through that angel vine, but I'm going to use my needle nose to push it in because it gets hard to get through that vine. There we go. So now we have two pieces on that side. All right, another element. My husband is finally accepting my new obsession. Annie, I love that. He's going shopping for some of my supplies. He said, I'll get your needle nose pliers and wire cutters. Yes, those are so necessary. What a good husband. That's awesome. I told Bob, this wreath that I did the live on yesterday, I really want to teach that as a workshop. And I'm like, I don't know if people will be able to, I'm used to doing it on a table, flat on a table. It's just how I make them. I've never used an easel to build wreaths. And maybe because we just never had them, you know, when I was growing up. My mom's flower shop, we just, whatever, you know. But anyway, I'm like, I think to teach this class, I need easels. So if any of you that do this for a business like me know of a good source of tabletop easels, Bob's like, I could probably build you some. Put a link in here so I can see, because I'm thinking of buying, you know, 8 to 10 of them just for my workshops so that people can work facing their wreath and everything. So, but see, and that, like your husband, Annie, buying you the tools, it's so nice when they help you out like that. It's amazing. So, good hubby. Okay, so do you see how this green now, you see the angel vine? It's kind of going away, but it's there. Isn't that cool? Try working with this stuff, you guys. You will love it. You will love it. Okay, The next greenery we're going to use, I have a partial stem of this in the lime green. So this I had used, no, actually this is a full stem. I thought I grabbed a partial. But we're going to add just a few sprigs of this because remember I said I like at least 3 different greenery stems. We've got 2 so far, but let's add a little bit of this just to add a little more brightness because this is an Easter watering can with the little goat pretending to be a bunny. So let's get some of this going. I think it'll look good. We don't need a lot, just a few little stems. But we're going to break this down. This one stem should do the whole can. Let's see. It's tough. This is a tough wire. This was also Michael's in their spring. Some of these I may put together. I may not need to though. Let's see. Let me just cut it down and we'll see where we land with this. Some of these little guys need to come off. Good stem to keep though for later. May have to put some more Easter eggs together. It would be kind of cute to put Easter eggs in this too though. So let's put a couple pieces of this in. They don't have to be real long. But I like the color, so, and it's going to help me fill in a little bit. So this is going to come right up next to the, little goat. So we have a little piece living right here, but it just adds another texture and another color. I like it. In fact, I might as well just put picks on these, so I don't have to keep stopping. Need to think ahead here. Some of these I'm going to break really far down. So you can cut one little branch down. Now I got a tiny little piece because I need some little tiny pieces to put by the goat. So I'm going to do that with a few of these. That's another good big one. This would be a good one to break down. So now I have 2 little pieces, total of 3. Okay. So look at your little branches. How far can you take them down? If you need little touches of greenery close into your arrangement, you have a branch left over, you need to hide some spots, this is a great way to do it. Okay, so now let's see what we have. And then I always lay them out because I'm planning on where these are going and I don't want to be short. So I've got 3 pretty big ones. So of course those will go up in the background. And then I've got 1 medium, 3 tinies. So try to lay your branches out when you break them down so that you don't start on one side and then you get to the other and you're short. It's just better to plan than having to pull another stem. So I put this little guy here, so we're going to come in this area here with this one. Balance it out. And we can bend this a little bit so it looks like it's drooping. See that color? How it just makes it pop. And then I want one right in the middle. So I'm going to come right in front of the lavender here. So in front of the lavender and kind of behind the little goat right there. He's so tiny, but he's so cute. Love this little goat. Okay, and let's have some come out the front. You can always use a few in the front. And I'm going to cut this down a little more. So we're going to have more little pieces because we have, see how we have the 3 framing? So 1, 2, 3, right? Now the rest can fill in the front. They don't need to be long at all. We just want touches of that color. So I'm going to have one come in between these 2. So we're going to come right here. Okay. So really what I'm just doing now is broadcasting this color throughout the arrangement. So I don't end up going, okay, there's a lot of green of that lime green on one side but not the other. You want little pieces of it peeking out so it doesn't look strange. Like, oh, they forgot to put it on the left side of the arrangement. So think about that when you're building. And again, another reason why I lay all the pieces out. So I'll show you, I'll just get these in front and I'll turn around and show you what we got. And you're seeing a lot of picks on the front of this. My metal picks, I'm not getting them all the way in. I don't want to be too aggressive because these are little pieces of foam. Some of them are hitting the watering can top that I have the foam glued onto, so I don't want to break it. So I will put foam or moss at the end and cover all that. Okay, so we have two more. Let's see. This one is coming off. Let me re-pick that. So maybe one living right here. Did you see that? Maybe a little piece living over here. It's like, where are they going to spend their time? And then one coming out the front here. Then I also hit other stems that I've already put in. Okay, bring this one a little more forward and make it make sense. Talking to myself again. I saw a funny meme on Facebook. I was posting and whatnot last night. Was it that or Instagram? And it said, if you go into a craft store and I'm talking to myself, don't interrupt. I'm self-employed. I'm the only employee and I'm having a business meeting. I thought that was pretty cute. Anyway, so there's that little green in there. It makes all the difference. How this is just coming together. I like it. I may want to move these up. It's like I'm a little bit, I am covering the watering can a little bit, so I may push these down and up so I don't cover my spout over here. But it's so cute. Okay, so next we're going to add some flowers. It's time to get the blooms in there. And I'm going to start, I'm looking at these, but again, I'm thinking maybe too big. I've got that tiny little goat. So what do you guys think on this, okay? So I'm going to use, I want some white, so of course my favorite Cosmos are going in. You know they are. These are from Hobby Lobby. They are my favorite spring and summer flower. And they're a good size. They're not too big. I like that the white is going to kind of bring the goat out a little bit, right? So, and then I brought in the pink because he has a little bit of pink around his neck. So I want to bring the pink out, right? And it's an Easter arrangement. But between this, and then at the very end, I'm going to put some little pieces of this. Let me see if I can hold this up. These are so pretty, and they scream Easter and spring. So we're going to put a few of these in too, right? So there's the blooms. My question is, are these too big? Okay? So you're looking at the arrangement, you're looking at all these little accent, and we're talking just little pieces of this. So I want you guys to vote. Do I use the big, these are like ranunculus, or just stick with the little tiny accent flowers, or both? So yes or no to use the big blooms. You guys tell me what to do. Annie, thank you. And Annie says Etsy has them. I said they don't need to be expensive. He said you're not getting the cheap ones. Aw, that's so sweet. Looks awesome. Martha says no, don't use them. Hi, Martha. Sandy says no. Pam says so cute. Alicia and I both have watering cans. I think they're too large. Karen says yes. So we have 3 no's. Annie says no, 4 no's, 1 yes. So let's do this. So far the no's outvote the yeses. I'm going to go ahead and add these, and at the very end, maybe we'll just place a few and see if we like them or not. I'm kind of leaning toward no. Again, I keep bringing out bigger blooms like this, and then once I get the arrangement together, I'm like, it looks a little heavy, a little bit heavy. So maybe we won't. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. So let's put them aside, and let's continue, and then at the very end, we'll put them in. So this is kind of our main bloom. So let me cut this guy down to use. Let's see here. How we're going to do this. I love that there's so many stems on this. 1 stem. So now I have 3 out of 1. And that's why I like this, even though it's a little bit pricier. I think it's $9 now for this 1 stem. 40% off this week though right now. but I like that you can cut it so far down. So let's go ahead and these I want up a little bit further in the can. But I love that you can take a watering can and make an awesome arrangement on it. And a lot of people get stumped. I've had people ask, how do you build on this? Forget the whole of the watering can. Just make a platform on top of it underneath the handle. And you can build whatever you want. But what a cute novelty container for an arrangement, right? Okay, let me pick another one. Pam, do you have one of those, because I know you saw Chris, the guy with European Antiques, at one of those sales in Sacramento. Did you end up getting one of these? Because I'm kind of tempted to do this on it, but I use this seasonally. I change the flowers out, so I don't know. But is this what you guys are going to build in? Just wondering. I need to go to Napa, and I tell you, I think it would be okay. It'd be an expensive workshop, but the vintage container is so cool. I'd like to buy about a dozen of those and then have a workshop with them. I think, I don't know, would you guys pay to do, I know a lot of you aren't in my area, but let's say I was. Would you pay to do a workshop with a vintage item, which it would run up the cost, but you would have the coolest container in the world, I'm telling you. Would you guys pay for that? So kind of help me out. It would be well over $100 for the workshop, because those aren't cheap. But I just love how unique they are. Okay, we have one more, and I'm going to cut this guy down all the way. Use all the little pieces. These two we can keep together because it has a little bud. But sometimes, Reading is blue collar, pretty much blue collar here. So it's hard because of the median income is not super high here. But I do have a clientele here that likes higher end items. There are people that will spend the money, but it's like, do I invest in that? And then what if nobody takes the course? I'm stuck with a dozen watering cans. So we'll see. But maybe if I get my workshop, or not my workshop, my website back up, I could always put them on there, I guess. They're just big to ship. Okay. So some of these, again, I'm going to do the S-curve on this one on the front. So I'm bringing it, I brought this one down and then I brought it back up, if you can see that on camera. So don't be afraid to bend the stems at, your floral stems, your actual blooms. You can get them right where you want them. And this one I'm going to bend out a little more. I don't want everything in a row. Maybe this one comes over to the right a little bit. Sometimes you got to adjust your greens, like this green needs to move over to make way for that flower. There. And I'm going to cut this. So now that I have this in, I don't want this to look so much like a fan of flowers. So I'm actually going to cut this little guy and move it in more toward the center. Probably moved that can too quick so you can see what I was talking about, but you'll see in a second. So I want one right in front of this little guy, sticking out. And then this guy. So again, you put them in and then you have to reposition them because you're like, man, I don't like that there. So there, that's a better look. So I put one right down in front there. I still have one more of these little buds though. Don't forget the buds, they're so cute. If you end up picking up the stem, these little guys are so cute. So let's put one right here next to the goat. I got to try to get that pretty far in though. I'm going to have to cover it with some moss, but I need to hide that metal pick a little bit more. It probably would have gone in without the pick, but there we go. So isn't that cute, that one living right next to the goat? I like it. Okay, so we're done with that element. I don't think we need any more of the white flowers, just a touch of them. Even though I brought several picks up, I'm like, How many of these do I want to put in? And this is turning into a completely one-sided because you'll see the back. Okay, but that's okay. We're just going to leave it like that. I was going to try to build it out on both sides, but I don't think we need to. Like if I were to put this on my porch, like on a bench, it would go up toward the back of the bench. Or even on the porch, it'd go toward the wall. So it's okay. This would even be cute in the kitchen. It's just so adorable. On your patio, you guys. Look at how cute. Okay. Gotta stop looking at it, gotta build. So we're gonna put some of these little guys in next. I'll turn this around so you guys can check it out while I cut this little stem down. This has little leaves I'm gonna pick with it too. Hopefully I'll only use one of these. Three little stems. I mean, I could break it down more because see how there's more, but I don't think we need to. Let's just try putting 3 little pops of pink in this and see how it looks. I'd rather it be a little more simple than having color everywhere and it getting too busy. Sometimes less is more. So the tall one, let's put it, I'm thinking the tall one should go right in front of the lavender here. So let's do that. I gotta get it down from that angel vine. But it'll look cute, then I can bend it a little. It'll look cute kind of hanging right over the bunny. Just a little bit over the bunny. Right like that. So one little piece on top. Then we have 2 more. So let's get these guys in. So another piece over here. That's too long. And then this is too long now. So see, you get going on it, it's like, no. Gotta change it. So this, I'm going to bend it down so this kind of, these, now I can bend this down on the main stem, but the stems that hold the flowers have no wire, so they don't bend. So these will literally droop out of the front of the can, which is fine. It's a cute little look. So 3 little pieces of pink, and honestly, I think it's all we need. I don't think we need any more of those. So let's put those aside. And these stems, I think these were like $6 or something and 40% off. The tags are off of these too. Let me see. I have another one with the tag. Here it is. Yeah, $6, 40% off this week at Hobby Lobby. Okay, so the other element, I thought these little thistles that we got from Michael's on their spring sale were cute. And maybe add just a couple of these just to add some interest. And it's a dusty color, so let's put a couple of these in. I'm going to put some short ones and maybe a couple tall ones. But I think they're kind of cute. And it's a different kind of a texture. It's not really a flower, but I like the dusty color. So let's see how these look if we put a few. Oh yeah, yeah. Those look good. See those right there? What do you think of those? And I brought a couple stems of them, so let's put some low and let's put some high. So I took, this had 3 groups of them on this one stem, so I pulled the one off that I put in front, and then this one I can keep long to bring it up somewhere up here in the back. Let's see, where do I want this to hang out? Do I want it high? Oh, let's try to do this high. This is a little floppy, but let me try it. Let me try it and see if it works. I think it will. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's kind of cute. What do you guys think of that? So think of your thistle. I know a lot of people are like, ooh, that's kind of an ugly flower. Yeah, well it's not really a flower, but it's a weird element. But when you put it in a wild arrangement, it really has a cool look. So Think about the thistle. Don't discriminate against the thistle, you guys. It will look good in your arrangements. So, little things like that, when you add little touches of different types of greenery and blooms and accents, it's what is going to set your arrangement apart from others. So I'm only probably going to put 2. I'm going to have a piece come over here on the side and hang out. Because I just think it's cute. And I'm going to put a slight curve on these so they're spilling out the front. Right like that. So see that right there? Spilling out. It just makes a difference. Do we need a third piece? What do you guys think? Help a sister out. Oh, you almost bought these and decided not to? Okay, so if you sign up, remember I told you for that Michael's account and email, I got a 15% off all the prices, your whole order, including sale. So, I mean, it's not 25, but it helps. These, I don't have any more of these, but these were very inexpensive, a couple bucks. Pam says yes. Annie says I did, okay. Let's see. Yes, the white flowers, these guys, Cosmos, Hobby Lobby, they're my favorite, Pam. You'll see them when you come up, they're all over my house. I love them in the spring and summer. And what I love is like, this is very spring, right? With that little goat in there. But for summer, I just pull the goat out, add some sunflowers, and keep using this. So don't think you've got to reinvent the arrangement every season and get another container and build something new, which hurts my business because I'd rather you come back and buy something every single season. But who can afford that? Not in this economy right now. So think about something like this. Even though it has the pinks and the whites, take out the goat. You add sunflowers to this, it's going to knock out of the park, especially with the lavender. It's going to look like a summer arrangement. You can use it all summer long. So I like to take arrangements and transition them from one season to the next. So even though I have all the spring going on, it's going to look good for summer too. So let's see. Do we put a third of this? Hi, Carolyn. Good to see you on. Thanks for watching. So Pam says yes. And I'm thinking yes. I'm looking, seeing how we're doing on time. I'm trying to keep to an hour now because I realized some of those were 2 hours because I talk too much. But because Pam said yes, let's put another one in. I think we need one more because we've got 2, but no, we've got 3. Wait a second. I didn't realize that. We do have 3. Do I need a 4th? No, we don't need a 4th. And see, the color is so subtle you don't notice. But we have one here, we have one here, and then the one up here. And I think it's fine. So I'm going to save it. I'm not going to put it in. All right, let's see what we got now. So those are all colors in. I'm really liking it. I want to use some of these because they're so wispy. What do you guys think? Let me set some of these in. I think it might bring it to another level. Yeah, I'm thinking we need, look at, okay, so here's it without these. Look when I add this other element. Isn't that kind of cute in there? If I put a few of these little wispy guys in, I think it kind of changes it a little bit. I like the shape of the leaves and whatnot. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think we should. I love the whiskey too, Pam. Okay, wispy. I know what you meant, but peach whiskey, I'm on it. No. Hey, if you guys, I'm not a drinker. Okay, let's just clear the air right there. But in the summer, we went camping with my kids, and they're like, "Mom, you got to try this drink." I have so much back pain from my stupid bad back, but I don't take any, narcotic medication. I'll take Tylenol, so I struggle. He goes, "You know what? You need to relax, Mom. Try this drink. You take peach Snapple, and you add peach whiskey, Crown Peach, just a little shot of it in there, over ice, throw in some frozen peaches. You have the best summer drink in the world. It is so easy to drink, it's dangerous." So when I saw whiskey, it's the first thing I thought about that, but I knew you meant the wispy leaves. I knew. You just got me on another, yeah. Anyway, It's good. Oops, fat fingers. Sandy says yes, and maybe try some yellows. You know, yellows would look pretty in here. And I might have some yellows hanging out that we could add into this. But even now, yellows would look good, but some are yes. Yeah, Annie, try that drink. It is good. It's good stuff. It's too easy. Let's just say that. Okay, so I'm going to put some of these. What I'm going to do, I'll place them. I'm going to put these on the perimeter of the arrangement, and I'll show you what a difference it's going to make. Just a few little pieces, but I think it really adds with the wisp. The wispy, or the whiskey. See how that does that with those little pieces here and there? Just kind of softens it. So let's add those. Those were scraps, so I'm good with it. So let me get those pushed in really quick. This is turning out to be a big arrangement. I was planning on going smaller, but I never seem to be able to. Go big or go home. Plus I start adding things, I'm like, ooh, this would look good. Ooh, that would look good. Does anybody else do that? You just keep on going. Sometimes you just gotta keep on going. Okay, so add this guy in. If I can get down to the phone, there it is. And even adding this, we're really not hurting the design. The design is the same. You know, we're not altering it. So why not? Why not? I wish Michael's had these this year. I would have been all over them. They probably have them in their everyday stems, you know. But man, the everyday stems anymore are so expensive. It is nuts. So we gotta hit those sales. All right, guys, take a look at that. Now you can see in the front, all that foam is exposed, right? I'm gonna add some moss in that to get rid of that. But my next question is, do we need these? I'm thinking maybe too busy again. You know how I am? I start gathering stuff before the live, and then I'm like, I don't know. Thank you, Pam. Thanks for the stars. I'm thinking, let me see if I broke off a little piece. Here's a little piece. What about a few of these right up by him? Try to just push this in the foam a little bit. See that little piece right in front of him? Do you like those? I could add just a few pieces here and there. Yes or no? Do we add them? Help a sister out. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks, Annie. Yeah, I'm not really a liquor drinker either, so it's funny when they're like, try this. I'm like, you know. Sandy says yes. Annie says yes. Jamie says yes. Okay, good. Let's put them in then. Everybody's saying yes. I didn't wait for the complete roll call this time, but let's put them in. They are super sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I'm just going to add a little glue and push them in. Because I'm going to use the tips of these because I think they're just so cute. It'd be cute to put one of these. I think I will. Have you guys ever done that? So this is a very small element, but wouldn't it be cute just to take one of these little buds and put it on his neck with his other flowers just to kind of bring it together? Let's do that. Let me find a really cute one. Here's a cute one. These should just pop off. They do, they pop off, so I'm going to glue it right onto his neck. Maybe a couple of them. Then it will look like it's part of the arrangement. Maybe two. And another tiny one. And you know, you got to find just the right one, right? It's got to be perfect. Okay, let's pop that off. I like that. I like how it looks like it's part of it. Like, how did they find a goat that has the same flowers? Put it over on this side a little bit. They're big, but they're cute on him. Super cute. All right, I'll show you that in a second. Let me get some of these put in. Because now I'm just sitting here playing it, and you guys are waiting. Need to quit playing. Okay, so I think one really low down here in front. These are great little accent flowers. It's a big stem. These are like wax flowers. But look at how cute when you break just the top of them off. You know, just cut off the top and incorporate them low into your arrangement. They look good in big arrangements too, but where you keep them tall. But for accents in arrangements like this, they're wonderful. So I'm going to just have some coming out of the angel vine. Like here's another little piece over there. Look how cute that is, you guys. And let's get another one coming off here. Okay, let's turn it around again. We need another piece over here. So they're kind of hidden. They're kind of sporadic, but I like them. And I'm going to have some toward the back that are peeking out through the arrangement, which I think will be a good look. So we'll bring some toward the back, but you'll see it because it's not a real, I mean, it's dense, but it's not super dense. But I like that you'll be able to see these kind of peeking through the stems like that. One more piece. I need a taller piece. Let's see how this will look. Nope, not loving that. Had an idea. It was not a good one. It was not good. Okay, we'll use a shorter one back here. Right like that. So what do you think of that broadcasted through? I think it's pretty good. I think I like it. Okay, now the biggest question of the day. We're going to fill in this back a little bit. Do I add the good fern again? Little pieces? What do you guys think? Yay or nay? Yes fern or no fern? I love my fern, but there's a lot going on in here, but I love this fern, you guys. Let's see. Yes or no on the fern? Let me cut off a piece and put it in there just so you guys can see what it would look like. I think we all know it'll probably look good. But let's try it. Let me separate this. I'm just going to set it in very lightly. There's a piece right here. Yes or no? Fern, yes or no? Well, I got a drink of water because I've been talking too much. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy loves it. Jamie says yes. Nancy says yes. Let's see, who else? Annie, do you want fern? Yes or no? Sandy? Sandy says love. Rita? Yes or no? What do you think? Pam, are you still there? You think we should add fern? Let's see. Annie says yes. Martha thinks it would look nice. Thanks, Martha, for voting. I'm trying to go back through the list of people that are on here so I can ask you guys. Pam sent me stars. Thank you, Pam. Who else is on that has not? Carolyn. Carolyn, do we need some fern? Carolyn from Texas. So you guys vote. We've got a couple yeses right now. Carolyn says yes. Yes, 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 yes. That's 4 yeses. I think that's good. Let's add a little bit. Let's get some fern in because you know me and my fern. Oh my gosh. It softens the whole thing and it kind of bridges the gap, fills some holes. So let's put some in. I'm going to be out of this fern and I'm going to be so sad. But I did buy a bunch when I ordered online. So I should have an unboxing. I've got like 4 boxes sitting in my entryway that I need to go through today and make sure I got everything I ordered. But love the spring this year from Michaels. Okay, again, we're ripping this apart. Again, no fern was injured during the creation of this arrangement. We're going to rip it into, turn this around for you, we're going to rip it into several pieces so we get more bang for our buck. It would look cute just having one clump coming out, but I like to distribute it. So I'm breaking it down. So our weather today is like crazy. It is crazy beautiful. It is bright sunny. In fact, yesterday when I was doing a live, it got really warm in this room, super warm. And I went out and our whole house was warm. I'm like, we're having not a heat spell, but they're saying maybe up to 80 degrees on Saturday. I'm excited. I'm like, we are so tired of the gray. It is time for some sunshine. All right, let's start adding some of this. I just think it's going to look so beautiful. Love the fern. You can't go wrong with fern. I want a piece in the back by this guy. Oh yeah, you guys were right. So right, you guys. Look at that fern up there. Ah, just softens the arrangement. It just makes it come to life. So let's keep adding. So I'm just gonna place it here and there. I could go crazy. I mean, I could do an arrangement with just fern. Maybe I'll do one. So I'm gonna start, I've had people ask about outdoor arrangements. That was a DM I got. I'm gonna start working on my porch. Probably step back from arrangements for now and we're gonna make a garland. The most beautiful garland, you guys. You are gonna love it. It is gonna incorporate a lot of fern, lots of fern. And it's going to go around my front door. We're also going to light it up with fairy lights. And I'm still like torn on, do I use color or do I just keep it green and white? Now I'm kind of like, I want to use a little Easter color in it. But what I'm thinking is, if I build it, and the basics are all the greens and whites, and I just add a touch of Easter color, I can pull the Easter color out and continue to use it through the summer, because then I can add sunflowers and whatnot. Kind of like I talked about in this arrangement. So that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. We'll see. But that's going to be starting. Tomorrow, I gotta think of what. Maybe tomorrow we'll start that. Maybe I'll do a morning live again, and I'll show you how I'm going to build this. Because I mean, at Christmas I buy garlands. If you guys saw some of my Christmas posts, I buy garlands. I have a lot of garlands in my house at Christmas. But in the spring and the summer, I like to make my own because I'm picky about what goes in them. Christmas, you can't get wrong buying a garland because they're beautiful, right? So I'll show you how I build my garlands, and I'm going to start it. I showed the piece the other day. This was a garland, and I'm wondering, has anyone ever bought a garland just to get the flowers off of it? I did. I needed magnolias, and there was a really pretty magnolia garland, so I stole the flowers. And so I have this garland. It's made out of a grapevine, but it looks so sad because that's all it has is, you know, the grapevine and some really sad greenery. But I didn't throw it away, so if you ever do that, don't throw it away, you'll use it. So it'll be the base for the garland for the front door. So let me show it to you in just a second. I know you can't see what I'm doing here because I'm turning this around, but I'm just adding a little bit. I'm going to add, so here's the front. Look at how pretty now, you guys, with that light fern coming through. I'm going to add a couple pieces to the back, just for continuity. And then, because I don't need the back to come out, but I do think it needs a little bit of greenery. And then we'll just add a little bit of moss and maybe a few more leaves back here. But this will really cover, two pieces will cover this whole back. I do need to find a wholesale supplier for this stuff. Like Michael's, when they're out, they're out. And I love being able to shop at Michael's because then you guys can shop at Michael's if you don't have a resale. But I need to go to market, and market for spring next year will be in the summer. So I need to find a good, I mean, I know some of the big floral wholesalers, but I like to see things in person, touch and feel them, because they have to, like, these are nice and light and they feel real. A little heavier than real, of course. But what I'm saying is, some of them, the pictures will look good and you get them in and you're like, ew. So I'm one of those that I like to feel what I'm buying. Online is good, but not always the best. But then if I build something, you guys can say, where'd you get that? Oh, go over to my website, you can get it. Okay, so I greened out the back a bit. Look how that filled that up. And then you still see the angel vine coming around. So you see how subtle the angel vine is? It's there, but it's not. That's what I love about it, okay? So if you look here, I'm going to moss out the front here. Make sure this little guy is looking good. I'm going to moss out the front of this, but can you see how there's the little piece coming over the top here? Let's see, I'm backwards. Yeah, right here, this little piece here, and then there's little pieces under here, and then you saw it in the back. So it just adds an element where you're like, ooh, what is that going on there? So really a nice product to use on these kind of designs. Okay, so the next thing I want to show you, I said we would place these. So let's place them, and then you guys can tell me yes or no, if I'm going over the top again. So if I was to place these, I would put one here, one right in here. I only brought 3 to the table, so. And maybe I put one down here. And then maybe one over here. So this is where I would put them, I think. I don't want to broadcast them throughout. I'm kind of hiding this guy. Let's bring this guy up a little more. Let me make it perfect before I show you. Come on. Okay, I had to move the Cosmo. And then this guy would go right in here somewhere. So this is where I would put them. What do you think? What's your comment on that for that design? I know what I'm thinking, but I want to see what you guys are thinking now that you've been watching my lives and how I build and the decisions I make. And then I'll tell you what I think. Yes, Martha, I like how it peeks through too. Just little subtle things like that. Everything doesn't have to be in your face. It's nice when you're doing a novelty arrangement to have things peeking out here and there. It adds interest. People will just sit and study it, see what you got going on. Annie loves the big flower. Sandy says yes. There's 2. Pam, I think it's too much. It takes the airiness away. Okay. Jamie says yes. Carolyn, what do you think? Do you like the big flower? Do you not like the big flower? Martha, what do you think? Oh, Martha said how she likes the handle peeks through. Martha, do you like the big flowers? Martha says no. Okay, that's probably enough. I'm gonna say no, and I'm gonna tell you why. Okay. I kind of knew we weren't going to use them, but I wanted to show you because I know a lot of you are like, oh, those are cute. So I want you to look at the goat now. Look at those flowers. Look at the goat. Do you see how they overpower the goat? So when you put a novelty item in like this, you need to think about not taking away from that item. So because we have him in and he's tiny, when you get too big of items, your eye doesn't know where to focus. I like the blooms that are kind of accenting. The white kind of draws your eye to him because he's white. But when you start adding too much, it takes away from him. So now, let me remove these, and then you'll see what I mean. So there's one gone. Where's the other? Here's 2 gone. Is this it? 3. Okay. So now do you see, now that I got rid of that, how your eye goes back to the goat, right? So that's my take on it. I wanted to just show you that because some people keep going and going, and I'm one of them. I go and go and go all the time. So when you think, I have this one more element, do I use it? Place it, do not glue. Remember I always say place twice, glue once, or place once and take it out. So think of your focal point, which is our little goat. Don't put too much where you're taking away from him, and your arrangement will look good. So what I would do instead, we are going to leave it like this, and then we're just going to add some of that moss. So let me moss him out really quick. So I've got my reindeer moss down here. We're going to use, and then I was also going to use a little, make a little nest. We don't need it. It'll take away from him also. So we're going to put that aside for another arrangement. Before I make another mess, let me clean this up, because now I'm going to put moss in the works and it's going to really be a mess. So, but you see the angel vine keeps shedding, so it's until you get it built, and when you're turning it and adding things, it will make a mess. It's sticking to my tablecloth, but I can get it off my mat at least. So you should see my floor behind this table. It is a wreck. Okay, so there's that. Let me pull some moss out. Same bag I've been using this whole time. It goes so far. For those of you that see this and want to buy it, you're like, ah, it's so expensive. It goes forever because you use so little of it. Okay, let me turn this around. And again, when you're mossing, use your needle nose, grab your moss, spread your glue, push it in. Don't use your hands, don't glue yourself like I do all the time. And watch, I'm sure before I'm done with this moss, I'll grab one with my hands because I get in a hurry. So we're going to just broadcast this right around this little goat. It's going to cover our, all of our little metal picks and the foam, and really turn it into that little scene that we like. I need to quit doing novelty arrangements and get to the big stuff, but you know, I need to decorate my porch and make a wreath for my porch and do all these other things, but this is what I love to do. These are so much fun. So I'm going to put a little piece, look at this. So here's the start of it. But see the handle peeking out right there? I'm going to have a little piece of moss go over the handle. So think about, you know, going over the container a little bit. Kind of looks nice. See? I did it. Grabbed it with my hand. Pay attention, Kathy. Alright, so we're going to put that right over those and onto the handle a little bit. So it makes it look like the moss is actually growing there. Let me put a little more and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Doesn't take much, few pieces. I throw a bunch up here so I can have some choices, because I like to choose the best pieces. Not that there's bad pieces, you guys. Just, you know, different size pieces for different areas that I'm putting them in. Gosh, use your needle nose, Kathy. And I like how we put the, you see the back here? I put that fern in. I don't even really need any moss in the back now. Just a couple pieces of fern and it did it. So now I'm just looking for my holes. And I like that this moss has a little bit of twigs in it too. So I think that's pretty darn good. Oh, there's some up underneath here I've got to plug. So up underneath that angel vine, because I had it come up and down, you can see the moss or the foam, so I need to plug that up a little bit. But that's what makes it look cool. Just plug that on in. Like that, and it looks good. Maybe take a tiny little piece and let's just put it right on top of the angel vine, just like it's growing there. Little piece there, little piece. I'm using my hands, I'm breaking my own rules, but so you can like string some here and there. So there's the front with the moss in there. You guys can see that pretty good. And all kinds of glue strings, so don't look at the strings. But see on the back here, up under that angel vine, you could see the foam. So now I just shove some moss up. At this level you don't see it, but underneath you do. So that's why I would suggest get up underneath your arrangement, look all the way around, and find your styrofoam. Cover it up. So, and then we could add a little more moss. There's one place I want to add some moss. I'm going to put some on. Don't use your hands, right? I'm going to put some on a leaf that I don't think is that pretty. So, and it's going to be over here by this angel vine. So sometimes it's nice to bring the moss up into your arrangement a little bit, because we're making this look like a natural little scene. So I put a little piece there. Okay. Let me bring it over and show you. Whew. I feel like I've got angel vine and moss all over the place. Other containers on the floor. Okay. So see, like right here, I put a little bit right in there, covered up a little leaf, but it looks really good. And all around the front of him. But isn't that little guy cute? I got to make sure nothing's covering him, and his ears bend, so I could bend his ears apart a little more. But look how it looks like he's just living in the watering can. Miniature little goat. It's a goat bunny. And then we come around the sides. I like making it one-sided because it takes half the flowers, literally, to do this. If I had to build this all out, I'd have to have all the blooms and everything, all the elements on this side I have on the other. So, but it still looks good. I see a little hole right here. I'm going to plug in some moss after I'm off of here. But look at how cute. And I also see, can you guys see that little pick right there? The middle pick, so I'll put a little moss going up that stem. Do you see how I put the little flowers around his neck to match the accents in the can? So there you go, you guys. That's my take on a watering can. A rusty old can that you can make look so cute. We've got our lavender up here. The fern was a nice accent. Angel vines going all over the place, which is fine. It's kind of what you want. Let me fluff that little flower. And I love how this angel vine kind of sticks out the front here. Just a little hidden element there, like, what's that? And I used just a little piece out of that whole bag. So there you go, you guys. So remember, like, share, follow, and I'll keep bringing you these. Let's do one tomorrow morning again. And I think tomorrow morning we're going to work on that garland a little bit. I'll show you the method I use to build off of, where's my garland? Here's that other wreath from yesterday. These really came out nice. But this is the garland. I think I showed it the other day. And I got to clean up the studio. My buckets are like a mess. So this is the garland I bought on clearance, I think at Joann. I cut off all the magnolias. So this is going to be our base. Very little and flimsy. It's going to be big and beautiful by the time we're done. And I will hint that we are going to be using these. A bunch of these. I ordered a bunch of them. But we're going to wire a bunch of these in. It's not going to take much to make this look amazing to go around the front door. So tune in tomorrow morning and I'll show you what we're going to do. I may not build the whole thing out, but we're going to get started on that. And you don't want to run out and get yourself a piece of cheap greenery that you can build onto. So much cheaper than buying an $80 garland, even on sale. So I hope you guys like this. Thanks for all your comments. And share if you can. Like this post. And follow my page. And we'll see you tomorrow morning and we'll work on some garland. Okay? All right, have a great day today. Friday, it's Friday. Go out and have some fun. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. You're welcome. You know, Pam, I'm looking at, now that I'm close to my phone, I can see the comments because I'm away from my iPad. You know, the garland should be a workshop, don't you think? So we'll talk about that. I think we could do one easily. So thank you guys for all your kind words and comments. It's awesome. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.